Hey everyone, welcome back to the Archangel 15. Today I have another presentation for you. I want to go into a comparison of the military technology between Russia and the United States. I want to cover on some other stuff as well. I really, to be honest with you, do not want to get too deep into the whole Ukraine-Russian thing. It's very, very upsetting to me. I almost went into mental shock over it. I've been to both countries various times. I come from Ukrainian Russian heritage. It's undeniable that Ukraine was part of Russia. Basically, the Bolshevik Revolution, they annexed it, as well as various other former Soviet republics. In my opinion, Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, Lenin, did it under the guise to almost for world domination. They basically had to break down the size of the Soviet Union at that time to make it not so obvious that they wanted to take over the world. And then there's this buffer zone between the West the Allied forces, which we can now call today NATO, and then I guess basically the red state, which is China, Russia, Korea, the various other Muslim nations as well. But if you really look back at how many countries used to fly the hammer and sickle, it's absolutely mind blowing. Pretty much 79 to 80% of the world. Even take a country like Montenegro, which is right next to Italy, and look at their flag and look at the Russian flag and look at other various Slavic nations. And there's 16 countries that have within 60% of the Cyrillic alphabet. There's so many other countries that speak Russian. They pretty much just resort right to it. Like Georgia, Armenia, pretty much a lot of all Ukrainians pretty much know Russian. There's really not that much difference. And also, remember, so if Ukraine was Russia, Russia definitely has interest there, and it's to their advantage to not give up those interests. They're probably deep underground military bunkers. Chernobyl was actually a military base. I've talked about the Russian Woodpecker in the past, and it's actually, they call it the eighth wonder of the world. Supposedly Nikola Tesla went to Russia, gave them technology that he did not give to us because the evil Zionists would not let him pursue his free energy ideas. And 2 years before the nuclear reactors went into producing electricity, they actually fired up this Russian Woodpecker, and it actually basically, I believe, almost won the war for him. It had three main purposes. One was to detect thermonuclear detonations in the ionosphere, a missile launch. It was like a radar. Probably nothing compared to the technology that we have today with sophisticated satellites and other radars, but it was ahead of its time nonetheless. This thing is huge, absolutely huge. I'll try to pull up a picture here while I'm going through this. I have a lot of videos and a lot of pictures that I want to cover in this, and I mainly wanted, like I said, compare technology between Russia and the United States. That's the focus of this. But yes, so Chernobyl was a deep there's many deep underground bunkers there. They go all the way to Kiev, and that's why I don't understand why they're not talking about this. But the truth is, there's probably fighting going on underground as well. And the Ukrainians, I totally understand where they're coming from, wanting to defend their homeland. And to be honest with you, Vladimir Putin does not care about the Ukrainians flying their own flag. It has nothing to do with Ukraine being Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine, they've always been in harmony for many years. I mean, a lot of people have always wanted to take the wheat fields and other natural resources, plus the ports of Odessa. And even before all of this started happening, Ukraine has still remained on the OFAC sanctions list from 2014, when the Obama administration put Ukraine on the OFAC sanctions list. And this has decimated the Ukrainian economy. There used to be cruise ships that would go into the port in the Black Sea there. They're no longer able to do that. And it's really just not a good situation. But yeah, I truly, humbly believe that Russia is justified in what they're doing. And they're basically, the United States probably went into Vietnam to put nuclear missiles as close as they could to China. They went into Iraq and Afghanistan because they wanted to do the same thing there. So they had to start all these fake wars and all this other BS to make it happen. Okay, so here's a Russian Woodpecker. This thing is absolutely huge. You can't even fit it, encompass it in the picture. It goes on and on and on. And this gentleman here, Ukrainian guy, explained it. This is basically it emits a beacon, a frequency beacon, and it goes around the earth and comes back, and then it I guess reports back to itself. So one was to detect the thermonuclear detonations, or the detonations in the ionosphere. Sorry, I got off topic there. Another one was to disrupt civilian communication band. and like basically like interfere. And that's why they called it the woodpecker, because it would actually go tick, 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 like at nighttime. You could hear it. And my father told me he's heard this before. There was a gentleman from London that he said he used to, have issues with this thing as well. And the final thing it was used for was basically like like it's advanced psychological warfare, almost like a mind to screw with your psychological state, or like make you irritated. And here's another picture of it. But yeah, this thing is absolutely amazing. This is why I wanted to go to Chernobyl. Like I wanted to go. Like I didn't want to go there to see all the wasteland and everything. It's really, really interesting. There's like a swimming pool like this. It's really impactful when you go into there. The people that lived there actually were very, very wealthy Russian people. Like they made like twice the amount of rubles per year as a lot of the other people there did. And there's wild dogs. Like I said, it's pretty crazy. And the wildlife that is there looks very, very healthy. It's kind of like an interesting ecological experiment. So just real quick here about the whole Russian-Ukraine thing. Okay, so like right at the corner of the Kremlin, there's a statue of Prince Vladimir. This is a newer statue, I found out, but nonetheless, they put a statue there. And like this whole thing with Vladimir, like Vladimir Lenin, Vladimir Putin, Vladimir Zelensky, like it's a very interesting kind of correlation between just all the names. Like a lot of these people probably are actually related, and they don't even, or not even going to acknowledge it. But this statue is of Prince Vladimir, a Ukrainian prince. I actually believe I have a lineage to him, along with Vladimir Putin. And this statue is huge. It sits right at the corner of the Kremlin. I mean, it's huge. Not quite the Statue of Liberty huge, but it's big. And this is the same person that's on the Ukrainian one green note. So, you know what I mean? Like, okay, and here's another one. Okay, so I was recently in Russia. I posted some pictures to my trip there. I did it. I posted actually, you can see the pictures in the past presentations, a couple from about a month ago when I was there. Don't even know how they let me go. But this is Prince Yuri Doloryuk, something like that. And this was from 1954, and he was a Ukrainian prince, and it says it right on there, like he's a Ukrainian prince. And don't you think it's kind of funny as well about the Russian, the Ukrainians are using AK-47s, where do they get them from? They want to use the MiG airplanes, Russian made. Even in Poland's using MiG. Like I said, and there's other, but I'm going to kind of go further to tell you why they probably want to use the Russian made stuff versus the United States stuff. And I want to also mention that there's like many, many, many other prominent Russian leaders, like very important luminaries that were born in Ukraine, were like very, very, very close to the border. Vladimir Ilyich Ulyanov, Lenin, he was from a town pretty close to there. Brezhnev, he was from Ukraine. Gorbachev, very close. Khrushchev, Nikita Khrushchev, he has that famous speech like "We will destroy you from within." If you can ever find the actual full speech of that, really, really, really impactful. And I don't think people that read it a few years ago understood it quite as deep. But it's basically part of an alien agenda. And there's deeper other things. I talked about my connection to the Cossacks. Like really, this goes back even deeper to another race of people that were called the Cossacks, which I have lineage to Vladimir Putin and my mother's mother, and talked about this in past. And it goes back even further to imperial Chinese bloodline. Like in the gamut of time, it's much bigger than Russia or Ukraine. Please know that it goes back to imperial Chinese bloodlines. And also Scandinavian Viking bloodline as well. There's the red hair, this Prince Vladimir was definitely a Viking, in my opinion. And there's a resemblance between some of the beautiful Ukrainian girls and also the blonde hair, blue-eyed Swedish girls from Scandinavia. But I've talked about the human cloning too many times in the past. I'm not going to bring it up again, but I promise you that what's going on in Ukraine has a lot to do with human cloning programs, the United States Air Force, and the United States Navy. And I still have yet to see the Ghislaine Maxwell saga end. Like I said, where is that? Just sitting in purgatory somewhere? And like I said, I believe you're going to see some serious stuff go down. Okay, so I want to move along here. Hopefully I can do this in one part, this presentation. Again, this is not about the Russian-Ukraine issue. Please do not leave comments saying, oh, screw you, you're Russian or whatever. You see, you can look at my presentations for years on this channel, and I've always had this. I got this in Ukraine. A gentleman, this lawyer friend of mine gave it to me. And yeah, like I've been to Ukraine, I've been to Russia, and like yes, like, the Ukrainian people do not like to be called Russian. The Russian people do not like to be called Ukrainian. But I really believe that there is like a major connection. It's really sad to see what's going on. Like really, really, it made me just very, very upset. So moving along here, I want to do a comparison between the United States Air Force and the Russian warplanes, and particularly the missile launching systems. Like there's a specific mechanism, and like what brought me to this is like I started thinking to myself about like planes that have missiles, and they're going like over 1,000 miles an hour. Okay, so like the missile could come off and like drop or blow up or like, you know what I mean, or rattle around. I mean, think about how hard it is to keep it on, and then it has to be able to just deploy and like not rip, like that's like it's got to be a split second where it's not going to rip the fucking wing off the plane, or it's not, you know what I mean, like the thing's already moving really, really fast, and then they have like other very, very, very advanced guidance systems and like other things. Like the Russians, like I actually talked to my friend about it one time, and there's like 27 metrics that like 6 of them the United States has not even, they're not smart enough to do. Like I'm going to be really honest with you, the United States is not smart enough to do. It is not deniable that the Russian missile technology is way, way, way more advanced. Like the hypersonic stuff, the United States military even admits they cannot stop. They're like nuclear-powered nuclear missiles that have like unlimited range. They go straight up and then straight down. Like they're unstoppable. And like the drag equilibrium is one of them, and like also for like adjusting for curvature of the Earth. Fair warning, I have a friend that works for the Sukhoi Corporation. So like, you know, I'm kind of like partial to the Sukhoi Corporation as well. You know, the videos I'm going to show you today, please, you know, like I thank everybody that posted pictures and videos if I use them. If you're nice enough to do it, then you're putting your stuff out there. Some of these videos are actually from the Lockheed Martin Corporation, and I've actually messaged them, and they haven't gotten back to me yet. But like this notion that America is the greatest is bullshit, absolute bullshit. Like as far as the military technology goes, and I'm going to like support this theory today. And I mean, keep in mind that America has unlimited resources. And like the F-35 was conceived in 2006, and it was it was like an over $1 trillion program. They could have taken the money from this and put every single homeless person in America in a $200,000 house. That's how much they spent on this, and it was a complete failure. It was made with like they sold them around the world. They had all kinds of problems with them, and they're made with Chinese circuitry. And I've actually talked to people from the United States Air Force, and they've told me and confirmed that most definitely the Chinese have backdoors in the circuitry. The Russians make their own circuitry for like the Su-35, for instance, or the Sukhoi Corporation. And who's the Chinese buy theirs from? Not the Americans. The Chinese is buying the Sukhois. And the Chinese actually tried to copy the design of the Su-35, and like a third of them crashed and burned. They couldn't do it. It's like deeper alien technology. But I've talked about like Lockheed in the past. Please watch my presentation on hidden symbolism in the movie Terminator 2. Like cutting edge stuff. Like if you like that movie, or Terminator 2, please watch that. And like I really believe it's like a corollary to Lockheed Martin Corporation. Lockheed Martin essentially equals Skynet, like in the broader sense of things. And like it talks about how like I've heard this in the past, like this understanding of like that there was like these alien UFOs that like crashed, and it like basically the military went and took them and then like found this technology and back engineered it and then like created it, you know, like used it for themselves, and that's how we have all this advanced technology that we have today. And like I believe that the aliens crashed on purpose and allowed them to do this so that they could basically, like these other aliens, like the Chinese and the Russians, could like come in and like break them down, and also like to have a whole entire generation of youth that like does nothing but play video games or orders stuff off of Amazon or meets people on Facebook, like just to disrupt the harmony and sanctity of life as you know it, and like basically they know that like probably after 2 subsequent generations of like implementing such measures that like it'll like imply into the genetics, and like you'll have like weak kids that like you could kill with a butter knife, or just by looking at them you can make them cry. And so let me see here. So the Sukhoi Corporation is an amazing story. Pavel Sukhoi founded this company very, very, I forget what year it was, maybe in the 30s or something like that, 20s, 30s, something. And please, I'm going to post a link to it. Watch the Sukhoi documentary. Amazing stuff. talks about Pavel Sukhoi and this other guy, Mikhail Semenov. He actually challenged the United States to a live missile dogfight, and the United States declined. And you'll see why they declined here soon. But the Sukhoi 30, the Su-27 was actually the predecessor to the Su-35. The Su-35 was made like 15, 20 years before, actually even longer than that, before I'm not even sure on the dates, but it was made many, 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 many years before the F-35. So like, just basically understand that the Lockheed Martin stuff is newer and has newer technology, and you'd think it would be better. And here, I'll show you a picture. This is, the legendary F-35. And they have other ones, F-22. Some of the older ones I think are better suited. But yes, please watch this Sukhoi story. Like, my cloud formations, the reason I kept saying how I was going to do a video, post like a new cloud formations video soon. And like, I've seen so many, and like, it's like almost like every one of them is like prophetic, that like I can't even like sit down and like draft the whole thing. It's too insane. Like, I'm just like almost ready to just give up on it. Eventually I may post it. I'm probably just going to start doing it here. At the end of this video, I'm going to post my cloud formations. This is a good opportunity for me to do that. Like, this may be my last video for a while, and I'm just going to start posting them in here, like do a log. My other last video, my abilities to control the ionosphere and manifest cloud formations video, I ran out of room posting formations. So like, here is a Su-57 fighter plane. Here's a cloud formation that I saw. It looks very, very similar. Here's another one I saw. Interesting there. I have way, way cooler ones. Like UFO looking clouds. And I have one fairly recently here. I'm going to try to find it's even cooler than that. But like, definitely, I really believe that, like I said, like, I've talked in the past about the hollow earth aliens, and how like I really believe, like, basically once the United States started detonating nuclear devices, testing them, and also in Japan, these hollow earth people basically like took their genetics, alien genetics, and bred into the Russians and the Chinese to give them this technology. Okay, so I was with my sister driving to work one day, and like, she works for the Department of Justice, has a top secret security clearance. And if you like to question me on this, I'll get her on here, and she'll tell you that she saw this. And like, these are like, all my photos are real. Like, I promise you, I'm not smart enough to like to make these, like, do Photoshop. But like, this is like an alien. Like, you can clearly see it's an alien. I mean, and then it has horns too. But what's even cooler is it's a 3 tetragrammaton. You can see here, this is because it's a like this mode, a selfie mode here, it's transposed. But like, this is, I had this on my WhatsApp profile picture, and like, ever since I started getting into tetragrammaton, my whole life changed. Trigram, tetragrammaton, grammaton, probably where the Olympic Freemasons get it from. And then you have like tetragrammatana, or tetragrammaritana, or tetragramma, all these different variations of it. Like, it's into Mary, like deeper, really, really, really interesting stuff. The Elohim, you can call it. But yeah, like, ever since I started getting into that with Aleister Crowley, I started seeing like tons and tons of 3s. The 3s are like everywhere. The trigram. I have my Russian friend Vladimir. Like, I've sent her all my pictures, and here's another really interesting one too. This is like an angel, and you can see like a dove here. I'll eventually post these. Sorry for taking a while in this presentation. Again, please stay with me. I have yet to get into the heart of this presentation. It looks like I may have to do this in a couple parts, but I want to show you another one of these cloud formations. And like, this is really serious stuff. Like, many times I go into cities, and I'm very, very, very heavily chemtrailed, and they like basically scramble the formations. And like, I have ones when I'm in Washington DC, and I have like dragons over top of the Capitol building, or like mushroom clouds. It's almost like they talk to you. There's like inventions that they basically tell you, or like ideas. It's really, 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 really deep and interesting. You can see this one here. That's a cool one. can't really see it too good. It gets into wave theory and deeper elements of physics and science. So I'm done with that. So, like I said, there's like I said, let's just get something straight here. Undeniable that Russia has way more advanced missile technology. Okay, so after Hitler lost World War II, like 2/3 of the German scientists went to the United States under Operation Paperclip. This was like Heinrich Himmler and others. Basically, many of them were advanced these mind control programs like MK Ultra mind control and like death camps and like basically all these experiments and like really evil stuff. And these people like went on to form like Lockheed Martin, Booz Allen, and all these other like military companies. They're all like German Jews, basically. A lot of German Jews. And so the other third, the Russians got, and they were the ones that had the best missile technology, like aliens, like probably also were into like the Nazi Bell and other deeper things of physics. And so like that's what I attribute a lot of it to. It's kind of an interesting facet there. Like, it was the Nazis, almost like it was part of like a bigger plan of Hitler's, or like the Nazis themselves, that like almost like they lost on purpose, and it was like part of some type of bigger plan with the Soviet Union or something. It's like really interesting when you understand the Matrix and like the Akashic record and other things. But like I told you, they're unstoppable, the Russian hypersonic missiles. Okay, so we're going to start with some video analysis here. And I'm going to start with the Sukhoi. And again, like if this is your video, I thank you for putting this out here for me to use. This is a 13-minute clip, a 13-second clip, and like just look at the deployment. Okay, so like I said, like you have this missile on your wing, you're going 1,000 miles an hour. This thing cannot come off, it cannot rattle. It has to be like accurate and ready to deploy like as soon as you want it to. A second in this game might as well be a day. Like it's like that big of a deal. Okay, so got my Air Force advertisement here coming up. They must need to advertise. Nobody wants to go down with this evil shit. Okay, so so they do it in fast and then they do it in slow mo. But like this thing comes out, just I want you to notice is it comes off of the wing like a bat out of hell, like ready to go. Sorry. Okay. Okay, like I'm gonna play this like 3 or 4 times. And like I said, this is older, like much older. Much. See if it keeps. Okay, so you get the point on that one. Then we're gonna go to. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 of the American ones, just so you can see. We're gonna do the F-35, and then we're gonna do the F-22. We're gonna start with the F-22, and notice how they drop like a bomb first, and then they take off. Okay, so the Russians come off the plane looking like a bat out of hell, and the Americans come off the plane looking like they have a learning disability, or the Trump family designed them or something. I don't know. That's the F-22. Okay, let's go to the $1 trillion prestigious F-35. It's the best that America has to offer. Okay, so here's F-35. I have to try to find this here. Understand also the different types of missiles. There's surface-to-air missiles. There's air-to-air missiles. And then there's, I guess, air-to-surface missiles as well. And, okay, so, yeah, and like these videos are actually posted by the Sukhoi Corp, or the Lockheed Martin Corporation. Waiting here, hold on. Okay, here we go. It drops down like a bomb, and then it takes off. Like it's got like it's dyslexic or something. Doesn't look anything. Like I said, like the Russian missiles. Like you can clearly see it. Okay, so that's debunk number one. And I know this video is going to upset a lot of people. I really don't care. The truth is the truth. You can post a video, do what I'm doing. So, like I said, just please have respect for the complexity of these mechanisms, like the missile deployment systems, and then like also just the other technology that goes into it. And it's definitely, like I said, alien technology in my opinion. And so then we're going to go into the next thing is like the maneuverability. And like there's this famous scene from the movie Top Gun where he's like Maverick's in the flight school and she's saying, oh, this plane's not capable of doing this maneuver. He's saying, oh, I object. He's like, I've seen it or whatever. It's kind of funny because whatever. Maybe there's a Maverick out there that can prove me wrong on this. But okay, so we're going to start with the U.S. Air Force Cobra maneuver. Okay, so like when you type in, okay, there's a couple cool maneuvers. Cobra maneuver, and then there's thrust vectoring. Okay, so like you'll like type in like several Russian planes doing it, and then type in United States, and like the United States doesn't even have any that they could show. They have some on there that do like a piss poor example of it that they call that, but they can't do these maneuvers, and it's really a joke. Like you'll say, oh, like F-22 thrust vectoring or F-22 Cobra, and then there's the improved Cobra as well. So like this is the F-22, and it like flies around. It looks real flat, falling leaf. This one's not as. I'm gonna try to go to the Cobra where it shows out. Oh, here we go. Cobra maneuver. It's like a poor excuse for a Cobra maneuver. And then there's like even an improved Cobra maneuver as well. And they can't do it. So let's see here. Su-35 Cobra maneuver. Okay. Like, I'm just going to leave this for a minute and kind of talk over it. But yeah, the Su-27 was basically, it looks exactly like the Su-35, like this, and could actually do these maneuvers. And the Su-27 is very special because it was Pavel Sukhoi's last concept before he died. It was like, it was almost like his life work into this company. Do you see that shit, people? Do you see that? Like combine that with the better technology missiles, and just look how beautiful that thing is, how it flows. I mean, it's absolutely magic. It's the coolest thing ever. And this is like, basically, it's like, this is as good as it gets, folks. It's like, we didn't need to build anything better than this. This was like the peak of it right here. And even the ones that Sukhoi's come out with after this, like the Su-57 or the Su-75, the Checkmate, they're like, I guess they have different purposes and, I guess give people jobs and everything, but really, really, really interesting stuff. And, yeah, like, it's incredible what they can do. Like I said, I encourage you, please corroborate this for yourself. All this stuff I said, everything I'm telling you, go look it up for yourself and prove me wrong. If you're still here, I sincerely thank you. If you're an American taxpayer, I sincerely feel really sorry for you that you have no choice but to give your money to these greedy thugs who probably are in cahoots with other people who like basically feed us fake news and GMO food and poison our air with chemtrails and other things as well. I've done some other research as well, and like there's other shady things that I've come up with. Like there's this one corporation, Alina Aeromacchi. It's an Italian aerospace company. They had ties to the Harley-Davidson Corporation, and they were like giving parts to the Russians, the Sukhoi Corporation, and to Lockheed Martin. I questioned my Russian friend about this and like brought this to her attention, and like that's like a major red flag in my opinion. Lena Aeromacchi, I think they're out of business now, but you can look them up, and I find it really, really intriguing. My time is going to run out here, folks. Again, if you're still with me, thank you. My heart and prayers go out to victims on both sides of the Ukrainian-Russian conflict. I really hope that Vladimir Putin, I think he will leave the Ukrainian flag fly in Kiev. And it really doesn't matter. But let the truth prevail, and you'll see who has a stronger team in the end. Take care, folks.